Hey, it's Kim Commando Today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to commando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. I always like to start with something interesting, and Google has this little app that will let you find a piece of art that resembles your pet. That's right. Using the free Google Arts and Culture app, you can search through thousands of paintings to find a lookalike for your pet. And they call it pet portraits. So you take a picture of your dog, your cat, your fish, your bird, your snake, whatever you got, and then you find pieces of fine art that feature a similar looking animal. It's a lot of fun to do. It's kind of cute. I tried on Abby, my golden retriever, and the results were really wonderful. But you have to remember that Google is a big tech company. The novelty of finding your pet in a piece of art is always fun, but you want to remember, Google is just doing these kind of things for the Monet. That's right. And you see, ladies and gentlemen and boys and girls, just an example of all the fun that we have here week after week as we talk about living the best digital life ever. That's right. We talk about the gadgets and gizmos and your online security and what's left of your privacy, which isn't much these days. I'm, of course, America's digital pro, Kim Commando, and you can find the Kim Commando Show on over 420 top radio stations throughout the United States, and we're streaming in your favorite radio app. Just search for my last name, Commando, of course. And then you can find us as a podcast, as a webcast, so you can watch the show over at getkim.com, and it's just a couple of bucks a month. You get a free 30-day trial, by the way. And I'd also like to thank all of our listeners, our servicemen and women in the Army, the Marines, the Navy, the Air Force, Coast Guard, and Space Force who listen to the Kim Commando Show on the American Forces Network Radio. And our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. I'm sure you have at least a few questions about something digital I can lend a hand to. All right, let's start this hour with 5 things you need to know about consumer tech to keep you up to date, to keep you safe, make a difference in how to use your devices, what you buy, what you spend your money on, what you pass on. And I'm going to start with a special USB drive that you need to know that it's out there and it's lurking and it's after you. It's called the rubber ducky. Okay, it has nothing to do with Sesame Street. It looks like a regular plain old USB flash drive, but it's definitely not that. When it's plugged into a computer, this special USB keyboard pops up, which means anyone using this USB drive can type whatever they want into your computer without using your computer keyboard and getting tracked that way. Now, the Rubber Ducky has a new version out that allows the person who has one to just plug it into your Windows or Mac machine and then get every single account name and password that's on your entire system. They can make it execute commands and take over your computer. So if you think that you know someone who might want to do this to your Windows or Mac PC, make sure that they don't have physical access to your computer. And whatever you do, okay, if you see a USB drive just laying around the house, on the street, your front door, your office, your car, coffee shop, don't just say, oh, I wonder what that is, Joe, and then plug it into your Windows or Mac to see exactly what it might do. Bad idea. Number 2 on our list, listen up if you're trying to manage your blood pressure, because there's a really interesting report out this past week in the journal JAMA Internal Medicine. They were taking a look at whether or not blood pressure cuffs are more effective than smartphone apps that work in combo with Bluetooth devices at monitoring your blood pressures. Now, interesting enough, the scientists found no significant difference between using an actual good old school blood pressure cuff versus an app. Now, if you're using an app on your phone to monitor your blood pressure, though, there are some really great benefits. You get reminders to check that blood pressure. You can see different data points. Then when you go to the doctor, you can show him or her all your readings right there on your phone. And the devices run about $100. Number 3 on our list, solar power up. Now, if you're tired of headphones running out of juice when you're on a run or you're just listening to music or podcasts, Adidas has gotten together with a company called Zound, and they're putting out some new solar-powered wireless headphones. It's charged with either natural or artificial light, and wow, listen to this, 80 hours of wireless playback. Now, they aren't waterproof, but it's IPX4 rated, which means it can handle your sweat and some splashing from a lake or an ocean. The headphones have built-in controls for changing songs or volume. There's an indicator when it is in the best light for charging, and if all else fails, it does have a USB-C port. They're not cheap. They're $229. Now, Adidas is not the first company to come out with this. You can buy Urban Esta solar-powered headphones on Amazon for about $180. You know, speaking of solar, my neighbor told me that he was getting solar panels, and When he did, he totally got my respect because what a power move that is. Number 4 on our list, Amazon has fixed a big problem with their Echo speakers. Now, if you have an Amazon Echo Show, that's the one with the video screen. And up until now, it was just pretty crappy to use as a photo slideshow because you'd be having all your beautiful pictures there. And then all of a sudden you'd see recommendations for like, hey, have you bought this cleaning fluid lately? And this is in the news. And here's a new skill by Alexa. And you're like, I just want to see my family photos. Thank you. I don't want to get pitched all the time from Alexa. Well, the reason why I bring that up is all this has changed. It's worth another look because now you can use your Amazon Echo Show or Fire TV to show you only your pictures. But for some reason, it only works like this for 3 hours. No. And then all the ads and all the other garbage comes right back. So if you want to do it, just say, Alexa, start photo frame. And then you can have a 3-hour slideshow using your Amazon photos, your Facebook photos if you want, stock images, or you can upload all the images that you want from your tablet or your smartphone. And it's pretty nice, something to check out, something new. And finally, this coming in last at number 5. In the words of Alison Krauss, such a fabulous singer, try as I may, I could never explain what I hear when you don't say a thing. And the reason why I bring that up is that there's a viral video. And last time I checked, it had 2.5 million likes on TikTok. It's a delivery driver who obviously has been doing this for quite a while. And he's learned that over the years that there's no reason for him to say things like, hey, good afternoon, it's DoorDash and I'm here with your order and you're going to love it. Because all of us are just so used to getting deliveries when we hear the bell ring that you don't really pay attention anymore. We just say, yeah, I mean, I'm guilty of that too. Just say, oh, yeah, come on in, whatever, So this guy's created a bit of a game with himself. And he's trying to see how far he can go before people question whether it's really a delivery or just something else that may be going on. Here, take a listen.
Hello?
Hi, it's me, Therese.
Yes, floor 3.
Yeah, it's me.
It doesn't say anything.
Hello.
Bubbly, bubbly.
Okay, 1 second.
On Hughie.
Who?
Delivery.
I like when he said, bubbly, bubbly. Oh, come on right up. Yes, obviously, there was probably someplace in the UK. I hardly go to the store anymore. I order everything in. I even used to have a special delivery for fresh fruit, but I had to let the man go because he was driving me bananas. Womp womp. Yes, I know. You laughed. All right, coming up in this hour, a trick that I use better than rice to get water out of my phone when I dropped it in the pool. Yikes. And then we're also going to have brand new or not true. This week is especially tough, so make sure that you have your thinking cap on for that. We have 7 must-try voice commands to use with Alexa and Google Assistant you don't want to miss, and how we can find the best router for your home in less than a minute. And then also, if you have a Ring video doorbell, what is the policy with it and the police? And of course, we have more of your phone calls here on the Kim Komando Show. How'd you like to hear about how I saved $456 in just 5 minutes? I used an app called Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Can you remember all the free trials and all the other random subscriptions that you've signed up for? Of course you don't, and that's what they're banking on. I love that with Rocket Money, I can see all of my subscriptions in one place. Then if I see something I don't want, I just tap to cancel, and I never have to get on the phone with customer service. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has helped save its members an average of $720 a year, with over 500 million in canceled subscriptions. Stop wasting money on things that you just don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/Kim. That's rocketmoney.com/Kim. rocketmoney.com/Kim. Hey, our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. A couple of things I want to tell you about. If you're ever too shy to come on a national radio show with, I don't know, tens and twenties of millions of people listening, I totally get that. Sometimes even I get scared sitting here in this chair. And I'd love to hear from you, though. You can go to commando.com And in the upper right-hand corner, there's a link that says Email Kim. And I read every single note that you send. That's KOMANDO.com. And in the upper right-hand corner, there's a link that says Email Kim. And while you're over at the website, make sure that you get your free Windows or Mac guide and claim it now while you're thinking about it. There's some keyboard shortcuts, some safe downloads for Windows and Mac. And we put this together to make your life easier. So whether you've been on Windows or Mac for a long time or you're just a new user, make sure you head over to commando.com/free guides and pick it up now. That's commando.com/free guides. And how about we start with Chad in Lexington, Kentucky. Hello there, Chad.
Hi, Kim.
Hi, Chad.
Great
Welcome.
to be on.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you.
So what's going on with you, sir?
Well, I got a little concern going on with Norton Security.
What happened?
Well, I'm a little concerned. I don't know a lot about their crypto mining, but my understanding is that they're doing a little crypto mining on my computer in the background.
Yeah.
And so...
It's, that was when I heard about that, this goes back to last January. I was really surprised about that it's actually a genius move when you think about it, right? I mean, I don't know how many millions and millions of customers that Norton has for their program, their security product. But if they could get even just a smidgen of that, right, to be able to
I know.
Your resources. Okay, they're going to be using your internet connection and your computer to mine cryptocurrency. That was pretty smart. You got to give them credit for that, don't you?
Oh, of course.
Yes, I mean, because instead of setting up any type of Bitcoin mining, or they're actually doing Ethereum mining, and you need to have they have some hardware requirements, like an NVIDIA card with at least 6 gigs of memory, 1 gigahertz processor, 2 gigs of RAM, 300 megabytes of hard drive space. It's not supported on Windows 7, and it goes on and on and on, right? But if they can determine that you have the right system, is that you are going to be a crypto miner. Now, the good news is, if I give them one part of good news, is that you do need to opt in for being a miner before it starts using your computer. And if you change your mind later, you can opt out. But it's not easy. They don't make it easy. You can only disable the mining, but you cannot remove the module completely. And then Norton also takes complete control of all the settings that it thresholds. So
correct.
Yeah. And now, okay, so if you might be wondering, so do I make any money at this? Well, you get a 15% coin mining fee is charged, transaction cost to transfer Ethereum. And it's really kind of, mind-boggling to me that they would just put this out there without thoroughly explaining it. So how do you feel about it all?
Well, it kind of infuriates me. I mean, I have to give them, the only reason I got it in the first place is because I trusted them on the Norton 360 is my understanding is what it works on, the Norton
That's
360, correct. Which is a security thing. I bought the Norton 360 because it's supposed to protect my security. I give them my social security number, address, birth date, and everything, and they're supposed to be monitoring the internet and everything for me. And, then I find out that they're mining in the background.
Hey, so this whole, because I don't use Norton, have they ever come up to you? Have you ever gotten a thing that said, hey, your name, your social security number is on the internet, you need to fix it?
Honestly, no.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, because you pay it's pretty expensive when you go through all that, and it's really hard for a company to really do a good job of that, especially if they have so many customers. I think it might be tough. But this whole cryptocurrency, this just irked me when I read about it. when it first came out. And we put a little thing about it on the site. So if you want to get rid of it, if you want to disable it, you don't want to opt in, we do have the steps over at commando.com. And I'm going to put them over inside the Commando community. So if you go to commando.com/community on how you can opt out if you have this Norton 360. And, I'm sure they're not doing a lot of Bitcoin mining right now because of the whole crypto crash, but it was a really genius way when you think about it. When crypto was flying high, that you'd be able to do something like that. But again, check commando.com/community, and we'll put all the steps there. And Chad, thank you so much for calling in today and bringing this really important fact to light, really. Because even though we write about it on the website, things get lost in the shuffle because we just have so much there. Thanks again, Chad. I dropped my phone in the pool the other day. Yikes. Well, I used a shortcut, water eject, and it makes your phone vibrate and some low bassy sounds to make that water just eject from the phone. If you do ever drop your phone in the pool, make sure you have that shortcut. We have links to it over at the website. Stay right where you are. Brand New or Not True is coming right up.
How'd you like to hear about how I saved $456 in just 5 minutes? I used an app called Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Can you remember all the free trials and all the other random subscriptions that you've signed up for? Of course you don't, and that's what they're banking on. I love that with Rocket Money, I can see all of my subscriptions in one place. Then if I see something I don't want, I just tap to cancel, and I never have to get on the phone with customer service. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has helped save its members an average of $720 a year, with over 500 million in canceled subscriptions. Stop wasting money on things that you just don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/Kim. That's rocketmoney.com/Kim. rocketmoney.com/Kim.
That's right. It is time now for America's national radio game show sensation, where you can play along and guess, is it brand new or is it not true? Because every week, literally thousands of new gadgets, apps, websites, smart this, smart that, are announced in the tech world. And that's where I came up with this idea. Because is it really good enough to be new? Is it crazy enough? So every week on Brand New or Not True, I present you, the home listener, along with a very special guest contestant with 3 gadgets in the tech world. 2 are fake. I completely make them up. And 1 is true. So you'll notice that no product names are given. That's because some people just Google search this and then cheat and say, oh, I won, Kim Commando. I guessed you like the first time. Yeah, okay. And a fanny pack goes to the winner. Yes, a much coveted Kim Commando Show fanny pack. So once again, 2 products are fake. 1 is true. And if you ever want to be a contestant, you can always email us over at the website. And this week, our very special guest contestant is Kristen in Seattle, Washington. Hello there, Kristen.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
Great. So what do you do there?
I'm a homeschool mom.
Wow.
I'm a homemaker and a homeschool mom. Yep.
Good for you. Wow. You know what? I commend you for doing that. I commend you because that's a hard job. Was it harder during the pandemic?
We didn't start homeschooling until after the pandemic. So the pandemic is sort of what drove us to this. And we love it now. It's been fantastic. It's been great for our family, and my kids love it. So I don't think we'll ever go back. But it is a hard job. You're right. It has its moments. But it is very rewarding, so I wouldn't change it.
You know, it always amazes me, and I shouldn't be surprised by this, about how homeschool kids, they actually are quicker learners. They test better. They are more advanced in their years than kids that we throw through the school system. But I guess it makes sense because you're giving them a lot of one-on-one time, right? So I guess
that's exactly right. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna play Brand New or Not True. Remember, 2 are fake and 1 is real, and so it's up to you to find the real product. You ready to play?
Okay, I am.
All right. Okay. So product number 1. Now, digital photo frames. They are just full of boring one-dimensional photos. And it's a thing of the past because who wouldn't want a holographic 3D screen sitting on their desk instead? And that's what's promised in this brand new gadget, high-tech digital photo frame. It does 60 frames per second, full-color holographic display, 8-inch screen that lets you view 3D objects, including people from all angles. So think of that. You, Kristen, could see your whole self in full 3D grandeur. All your angles, front to side, back, on this new digital photo frame. Wouldn't that be fun to see? Yes, best put this picture frame near the fridge for inspiration. $350. Okay. Product number 2. Who gets to mow the lawn at your house, Kristen?
My husband.
Absolutely.
Lucky guy.
He should be doing it, but not anymore if he gets this new robotic lawn mowing guy, because it has all the modern bells and whistles, an app that lets you set up schedules, adjust the cutting height, things like that. But like other robo mowers, it can map out your property, but this one is a hybrid. And not because it's electric and gas. It's named that way because you can open the top compartment to reveal a fold-out handle system. So you go from an autonomous robot to a self-propelled walk-behind where you can control it directly. It's designed for hard-to-reach areas and that the robotic mowers just can't get there. They say the battery will cut 0.3 of an acre on a single charge. I don't know if you know this. Tesla also announced their new lawnmower called the Elon. Yeah, sorry, that was bad. $2,800. Okay, product number 3. Since the pandemic, we talked about that, there's also been a real push for people who want to work at home. No commute, no getting ready, no real deadlines. What? Some companies are finding that they work from home aren't really working. And if you're that person, you're going to love this new mouse movement tracker with a Bluetooth speaker. So here's how it works. When you want the company that you're working for to think that you're working, you drop your computer mouse into this little box that will move the mouse around so that the screen never freezes. Now, because the mouse is moving, your chat programs always think that you're there. And there's no point in just looking like a good employee who's always online if you fail to respond to messages and chats, right? Or calls. So you can get an alert on a Zoom call, email, or something important from the boss because there's a Bluetooth connection to a speaker. So you can be sitting on your butt by the pool and get an alert when it sounds detected that somebody's trying to figure out if you're working or not. So this little mouse mover with the Bluetooth connection is $29.99. So it's a tough week, I know. But an official Kim Commando Show fanny pack is just waiting for you if you get the right answer. So product number 1, we have the new type of the digital photo frame, the 3D holographic display. Product number 2 is the new high-tech robot that mows your lawn, but you can make it a stand-up if you want. Or product number 3 is the mouse mover for work-at-home folks who don't want to work. So which product do you think is the real product?
Boy, this is a tough one today. The one that I would really hope is a real one would be the robot mower. That sounds really cool because I have a robot vacuum, and I've often thought, wouldn't it be really cool if this could do my lawn too? So that would be really cool. The holographic 3D movie or picture frame actually sounds a little more realistic. So I'm going to go with that one, the 3D picture frame.
All right. So you and all your 3D grandeur, I don't know if I could do handle to be like, ooh, front, back, side of me, everything. I'm not sure. Anyway, so Kristen's going with product number 1. So let's see what our judges say.
iMon is for people who work from home. It is an undetectable mouse mover that allows you to hear any alerts while you are away from your computer, and it is also a USB
Oh my goodness.
iMon will keep your mouse moving while you are away so that your computer doesn't go to sleep or set your status to away.
Yes. So that this way, if you're working from home, you can put your mouse in this box and it moves the mouse around so that your computer doesn't go to sleep. And then if you're on Slack or something like that, it doesn't say, oh, there's no movement. They must be away. It's like, okay.
Seems like you're working really hard to show that you're not working. Yes. You're working harder to not work than just getting in there and just doing it. Although, and I think it's funny that there are now like some, I think, what was it? Google came out and said, all these people are working from home. You're not working. We need you to come back to the office because we're losing our stuff. So anyway, I'm sorry you didn't win the official Kim Commando Show fanny pack, but because you're a great contestant, we're going to send you one just because you're a wonderful person. Oh, thank you. Well, thank you.
All right. So you have a question for me, I know, and how can I help you out?
I do. I have a bunch of messages on my iPhone 11 that I want to get to my Windows 10 PC. I want to do this because my son was in the hospital for a month earlier this year, and he's had a very hard recovery for the last 8 months. Thank you. And we have gotten a ton of very uplifting and encouraging messages from people all over the country, all of our friends and family. And I really want a way to make a little keepsake for him and for us to just capture this moment and this journey in our lives. So I have tried everything. I have everything's backed up to the iCloud, but because Apple and Microsoft don't want to play nice in the sandbox, I can't get my messages through the cloud. I've tried iTunes. That hasn't worked because the stuff in the backup folders, turns out it's written in an alien code and I can't decipher that. So I am looking for any way to easily transfer. I don't want to do screen prints. I don't want to do copy paste into an email because then it gets all gobbledygooked and clustered together and you can't. So I just want something where I can take my messages from my phone and have it look nice on my computer so I can edit it and then make like a little booklet for him. Can you help?
Okay. Yes. And it shouldn't be this difficult, right? It should just be, should be something that's easy to do. But you're right. The alien codes there in Microsoft and Apple are still like, one of those things. And you're not going to play nice in that. So, but there is a program, it's called iExplorer. And you download iExplorer and you can get your text message, you can view, you can get the messages, audio messages if they left any, the photos, the videos, things like that. It includes group messages, and it lets you access and it saves the iPhone messages to your Mac or your PC, by the way. But you can save it as a PDF file, a text file, or a CSV document that you can work in. You can pull it up in a Sheets or a spreadsheet program or anything like that. I've got exact steps on how to use it over on my website. And so I'm going to send you that link, via email, Kristen. So this way you can have all that. And then for everybody else, we're going to put it inside the Commando community. And so you can have a link on how to save your text, whether you're on iPhone or Android. So how's his prognosis? Good?
He's recovering. He's just had a pretty rough surgery with some unexpected complications that we're working through. But he will be okay. We just don't know when. But thank you for asking.
Well, I'll tell you, when it happens with the kid, they have such resilience, right? And
they do.
It's just amazing. And also they can adapt. Not the same thing, but I can tell you that when I was 14, I had a cornea transplant, and I still don't see right out of my right eye. But having had that as a kid, you totally adapt to everything. Which doesn't mean, but now as an adult, I can tell you that like if I go to grab a glass of wine because I don't have that 3D depth perception, but now as an adult, when I go to grab that glass of wine and I spill it, I can just say, didn't see the glass. So it wasn't me. It's not because I was drinking too much. It's just because I couldn't see the glass. Okay, that's all it is. Although I am looking at some other options right now for cornea transplants. And as I sit here and say, you know what, maybe I should get this fixed. Kristen, our prayers are with you and your family, and we'll send you that link via email, and everybody else, you can find it over inside the Commando community. All right, there are some new voice commands that you have to try with Siri and Google Assistant. And I'm not going to say what the words are because then it's going to wake up any device that you have around you. But just know, like, for example, you can say, okay, whoever it is, show me pictures of a person, a place, or a thing. You can even combine it by, say, show me photos of Abby that I took last June. You can have your smart assistant remind you of certain things and also remind you of things in location-based services. So you can say, remind me to pick up milk when I'm next to the Safeway or Ralph's. You can also say, how long until my birthday? How long until Christmas? You can take a screenshot hands-free by just saying, take a screenshot. This is also, instead of scrolling through your phone for apps, just say, hey, whatever it is, pull up this app for me and order me an Uber in 10 minutes. So in order to take your searching, your Google Assistant and your Siri to the next level and how to use it, head over to commando.com and hit the link called Kim's Show. All right, still to come, we have more of your phone calls you don't want to miss here on the Kim Commando Show.
How'd you like to hear about how I saved $456 in just 5 minutes? I used an app called Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Can you remember all the free trials and all the other random subscriptions that you've signed up for? Of course you don't, and that's what they're banking on. I love that with Rocket Money, I can see all of my subscriptions in one place. Then if I see something I don't want, I just tap to cancel, and I never have to get on the phone with customer service. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has helped save its members an average of $720 a year, with over 500 million in canceled subscriptions. Stop wasting money on things that you just don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/Kim. That's rocketmoney.com/Kim. rocketmoney.com/Kim.
Back to the phones we go with Jackie in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Hello there, Jackie.
Hey, Kim. Hey, I'm a big fan, and thank you for taking my call. I'm not techie, so I always love learning from you. So.
Oh, well, you're sweet. You're a sweetheart. How can I help you out?
Yeah, so my parents have a landline phone, and my dad does not have a cell phone, so the landline is his phone. Plus, it's the same phone number that they've had for years and years and years. So everybody, family we haven't talked to in 15 years, they have it, things like that.
Okay.
So they're currently having problems with their landline phone with their current provider. It's like no dial tone, just a lot of different service issues. So I was thinking instead of them switching providers, I wanted to see if there's a way that they can take that home phone number and apply it to something else, a cell phone or some other solution.
Okay. You know what? Really good question. The FCC says, and they're the ones who are behind this, that you should be able to port a number from what they call a wireline, a landline, a wireline to a wireless phone. The only exception is that there are some small wireline carriers that they're not required to port the numbers. So what you do is you go call the cell phone provider, whoever you're going to get. You're going to say, listen, I want to bring this wireline over. Can you help me out with this? Okay. The wireline company is not going to do that. Now, if it's a small company, they're not required by the FCC to do this, but there is a workaround. Okay. So the workaround is that you get your folks a cell phone, which is far better for them than a landline because they can carry it everywhere, right? Is that you're going to port it. You're going to take that landline number and you're going to port it to a Google Voice number for $20. So you're going to have a Google Voice app on their phone that for $20, just a one-time fee, that you can put that landline onto their cell phone. And I know that sounds kind of complicated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some links that you can read about how to do all that. Okay. But Google Voice is really easy to use. So so you're going down the right path because we want mom and dad to be mobile, right? With their phone.
Yes.
We want to be able to track them and so they can call us in an emergency. And so we need to get them off of that landline. And so as I mentioned, there are a couple ways to do it. And I'm going to post some links and I'm going to email you directly. But the links you'll find at komando.com/community. Hey, if you like these quick tips, by the way, we pass along, make sure that you get our Daily Tech Update podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, just search for Komando. We're brought to you on the Westar Multimedia Network. Hey, thanks for listening to Kim Komando today. So reach over and give me a nice 5-star review. Yes, thank you. And thanks for listening.
When Cynthia came to TurboTax, she had just launched her new side gig, a true crime podcast.
I'm a first-rate detective with a golden voice.
As her TurboTax expert, I made her second income count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and her maximum refund.
What did she do with that refund? Find out next week.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.